Conrad Stein. I'm sitting here today with John Schroeder and Magnus Creer from ScanRF, a next-day company. We're talking about testing LTE versus Wi-Fi in underground mining. So Magnus, talk to me about why are you testing Wi-Fi versus LTE?
I think, Conrad, there's no short answer to that, and essentially that's why we're doing this test. So, there's quite a few technologies already out on the market which are providing mining companies with sufficient coverage and connectivity to their machines in collecting data, and for fleet management and dispatch, etc. But LTE has become a sort of a buzzword, not specifically just to mining, but I think to a few verticals in general.
Yes.
And what we're trying to test is really to see if this is a feasible, viable option, and in terms of its network, topology, will it allow to cater for multiple type of applications? We're not just talking about the mining activity specifically, but extended to the plant and to almost the consumer side of the mining side of things as well. So because we've got extensive experience in other technologies already, close to 20 years, and it'll be good to see how it performs, and we're quite excited about it.
Yeah, I think the whole market sounds very interested in the specific test.
Okay.
So tell us about the client and the conditions that you're testing under.
So it's an underground hard rock mine, gold mine, and probably one of the biggest gold mines in the world. And they've got a very big drive to move to autonomous machines, at least a part of the mining activity. And essentially we're going to test and see if we can address not only the connectivity to the machines, because they're using Wi-Fi already, but to try and see if we can extend that further to almost have the same user experience that one would have above ground with a small device, and extend that further underground to close to 1 kilometer underground.
Yeah, obviously currently one of the big discussions is about user experience and so on, and a lot of companies, even in their service desks and so on, is rather talking about user experience, as you mentioned. So if you could have a common user experience underground and above ground, that would be quite a significant step forward. So John, if I may ask you, what do you see the business value of doing this type of testing? What business value would your client get from this?
Yeah, that's a good question, Conrad. I think it's a question that we have to jointly answer with the customer. And we had a discussion earlier on, and I think especially the underground mining environment, I think it's still a few leaps and bounds away from being really modernized. So the mining mechanisms, technologies used underground, I think is maybe a bit behind the rest of the world. Maybe not a fact, but that's what we see in the environments that we're operating in. So I think part of this test, why we're testing the LTE and the Wi-Fi, is exactly to determine that, because each technology can provide you with a different set of business values. So with this customer that Magnus is talking about, they're very open to technology tests. So we're excited about this because it gives us an opportunity to really go and test the different type of environments, with the different technologies, but then also to sit with the customer and understand exactly what is your requirement, Mr. Customer. So besides the typical things like connecting a phone or iPad or a laptop or whatever, what do you want to do above and beyond that? So is it, for example, is it a requirement to do voice over LTE as an example? Would you like to be able to push videos between handsets and terminals, or from a dispatcher to a terminal? Is that a criteria? Because obviously if you understand the entire criteria, we would know which technology would be a best fit, or maybe a hybrid solution.
Yeah.
So I don't know, does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does, and it actually leads nicely into the next question for the two of you is, have you given thought about what criteria to use to evaluate these two options?
Yeah, Magnus, have you?
Yeah, I think it's also part of the test, but I think we shouldn't forget that the connectivity medium, it's almost sometimes we take it for granted that there will be network available for what type of application the mine wants to use. But I think we should really sort of look to the connectivity medium and spend a bit of time on that, because that really becomes the enabler to assist the mine in growing and adding a lot more applications to enhance their mining operation. And not just that, but I mean to become more efficient. Most of the mines, I think all the mines are sitting with the same challenge, is that they want to do more with what they've got. If you can't measure and collect, I mean you can't manage that. So ultimately, I think the technology, the type of technology, will also enable the mine, to sort of expand that further. And John alluded to, with voice over LTE and video, that type of thing. So I think that's also part of the test,
Exactly.
and why this is a new world for, I think, not just us as a systems integrator, but also for mining companies.
Because I guess the trick is how to get the information right from the face, right? Because that's where you have a lack of infrastructure. So earlier on in the tunnels, you've got there's fiber, there's switches, there's a bit of infrastructure there, but how do you get to the face?
Yes.
So that's what we want to determine with these tests, So the coverage would be, I think that would be very important, what is the distance that you get? Because the power is also an issue. So where's the last point where you can get a reliable power source from?
And obviously, if you talk about something like autonomous mining, autonomous drills, or something like that, you need to be at the face.
That's where the machines are.
Where the machines are.
Yeah. No, that's a fact.
And I know this is early and you guys are doing an objective test, but from your current view, what do you expect the results of this to be?
Well, we've done various tests, obviously you know that we're a bunch of RF engineers, so we've been in this industry for 22 years. So I think we've got a good estimation of what we're going to get. We've done tests in South Africa with various other mining companies. A lot of tests with Wi-Fi. So we know what we're going to get with the Wi-Fi tests. LTE tests were a bit limited. But I think the outcome will probably be that the right answer is going to be some form of a hybrid approach. Because you will always need some form of Wi-Fi connectivity. Every device that you buy, every COTS device has a Wi-Fi interface. So it would be very difficult to do a complete network just on LTE, in my opinion, that is. So the advantages of LTE is obviously it is the latest and the greatest technology. So I think it's future-proof. It gives you much higher capacities over distance. The coverage we found, because you can pick the frequency that best suits that particular environment.
Yes.
Because the distances is directly related, between the dimensions of the tunnel and the wavelengths of the frequency that you're using. So I think that gives you a bit of flexibility. With Wi-Fi, you're sort of stuck with the two frequencies, 2.4 and 5 gig. But typically in a larger tunnel, you would want to go for a lower frequency where you have better signal propagation. So I think the outcome would be, if it's purely from a data throughput perspective, things like 11AX would give you much greater capacity than just LTE. But I think if you look at the ecosystem of LTE, things like critical voice communications that you can now lay on top of LTE, I think a hybrid approach will be the answer.
And in terms of you guys are now obviously shipping the equipment out of the country, it's being done in a foreign country in Africa. What's the timeline that you're expecting to do this? When can we start expecting some results? And what's the process you have to go through to actually get to that final test?
Manus, I think you've been involved with the shipping directly, so maybe you're better suited to answer this question.
Yeah, so look, it's always a challenge in getting equipment to site, especially in those remote locations. But fortunately, we managed to work with a very big reputable logistics company. So as we're sitting here, the kit is actually on its way, being shipped. So it should be there in the next couple of days. And then prior to us physically starting with the actual test underground, there'll be some testing and some setup and configuration prior to that. Although most of the stuff has already been configured, and then it's putting our hard hats on and going underground and doing the real deal.
Okay. Well, I look forward to you guys updating us as we go along. This is Conrad Steyn. Please keep on following us through this experience as we learn about what to expect from LTE versus Wi-Fi.
Thank you, Conrad.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.